n'allait pas la route de l'aventure. Ah, mais c'est le président. Un pauvre qui vote ou celui qui l'a rendu pauvre. Si on était bien au pays, est-ce qu'on n'allait pas la route de l'étranger? Ah, mais c'est le président.
Good day to the beautiful people of the Cameroons, the beautiful people of British Cameroon, and the beautiful people of La République du Cameroon. I love you all. This is a party political broadcast by myself, Maitre Mola Alex Ndive Lee Singer, the leader of British Cameroon National Party. Today, I've come to talk about a friendly message to the Minister of Territorial Administration, Atanga Nji. Yes, a friendly message to the Minister of Territorial Administration, Mr. Atanga Nji. I will start by reading an extract in the Constitution of La République du Cameroun, Cameroonian fatherland, on the basis of what? Ideals of fraternity, justice, and progress. I don't want to read it. It's the preamble. It says they are going to determine to build the Cameroons based on ideals of fraternity, justice, and progress. The reason I'm speaking today is because over the years, I've seen my big brother, Minister Atanga Nji, the way he talks to people. He despises people. He disrespects people. I don't understand why Minister Atanga Nji is doing this. If I could recall, one of my mentors for more than 35 years, who happens to be Mr. Bia's friend, Mr. Bia's classmate, they live in the same house in France, once told me Alex, j'aime les anglophones because they are simple. Whether you're a minister, the way you talk to people, you respect people. He's the same tribe with Mr. Bia. He's of blessed memory. My best friend. He would have been the same age, similar age with Mr. Bia. He told me, I love Anglophone ministers. I don't need to call his name. Those who know him will know. Alex, j'aime les anglophones. Les ministres anglophones. And it is true what this my mentor, who happens to be Mr. Bia's friend, they went to school in France, they stayed in the same house. So, over the years, I've looked at Anglophone ministers. It doesn't matter whether you're CPDM, it doesn't matter. Mr. Bia once said, la politique c'est la concurrence, which means politics is about differences. Politics is a profession because I have different political opinion. It doesn't mean I hate you, Mr. Atanga Nji. It doesn't mean I hate you. Mr. Atanga Nji, you know Pa Achidi Achu, Prime Minister Achidi Achu. He was a CPDM. But most of us, we love him. He was a family man. Why is it that we're getting on with Mr. Pa Achidi Achu? He was a CPDM, but we love him. I remember when I was in CPC Bali, me and Pa Achidi Achu's son, who happens to be my friend and brother, we used to go to his house where he used to live in Bali Park. We sit on the table with the wife, we talk and we laugh and we joke. And when my friend usually write about the father's profession, farmer, Pa Achidi Achu was a humble man. You know him. He's an Anglophone. That's how we were trained to behave. It doesn't matter whether you're a minister or prime minister. Mr. Atanga Nji, I might disagree with the CPDM political party. It doesn't mean I hate them. If you know Professor Elvis Ngole, he used to be my friend. When I was in Guakele, we used to come Bekin Diversi RTV debate. Until today, he's not my enemy. I was in the national dialogue and I met Professor Elvis Ngole. Because you have different ideology with somebody, it doesn't mean you should be rude and threatening people. Mr. Atanga Nji, we have a criminal justice system in the Cameroons. We have a police force in the Cameroons. If somebody is saying something that is criminal, the police, they should arrest the person, interview the person. If there's enough evidence, they take the person to court. And if the person is found guilty, is guilty. If the person is not guilty, they release the person, no further action. So this attitude, Mr. Atanga Nji, that you come and talk to people as if they are a fly upon a pile of shit. I've never seen this attitude. Minister Atanga Nji, let me tell you, I grew up in the Cameroons. I grew up with people I've met, Anglophone ministers and top dignitaries, Nebangu, Anomangu, Dr. Endeli, Justice Endeli. I've talked about Professor Ngole Ngole. There are many others. But at no time do they look down on the people. Mr. Atanga Nji, where I live in the United Kingdom, 99% of the ministers, they must elect you as a parliamentarian before you become a minister. Mr. Atanga Nji, nobody have elected you. You're not elected. You don't have mandate from the people. You were appointed. You should know that. You were appointed. We are looking forward to have a Cameroon where, even before you become a minister, you must have had elected positions, whether it's councillor, whether it's mayor, whether it's senator, whatever position, because we cannot be having people who were not appointed and they think because they appointed them, so their allegiance is to the head of state. No, your allegiance should be to the people who elected you to become a minister. That's what we intend to change, Minister Atanga Nji. I've seen your outings. You keep on shouting. Mr. Biya is not a fool. Paul Biya is a very intelligent man. They send you there to cause confusion. You speak bad about my lecturer, Professor Kamto. He taught me droit administratif approfondi in Guakele. I might not have the same political opinion with Mr. Kamto, but however, I will always respect him like my lecturer and a father and a senior person. Minister Atanga Nji, you don't respect these people. Do you know what it takes to become a university lecturer? They don't appoint a university lecturer. Minister Atanga Nji, I have met Anje Chungi. He was Minister of Territorial Administration. Regardless of his political opinion, I respect him. He will not stand and talk to people the way you talk to people, like as if they are a fly upon a pile of shit. I knew Aisi Vondo, somebody who could have been president rather, in the Cameroons. He was a humble man, despite of his difference of political opinion. Francois Sengako, a lot of people. Augustine Concho was my lecturer in Guakele. Professor Joseph Owona was my lecturer in Guakele. Bipu Mum Jean-Marie was my constitutional lecturer in Guakele. But they don't talk like you. These are people who have high level of intellectual capacity. These are people who taught me. I met them. I spoke with them. I understand that I want to be with them. But Minister Atanga Nji, the way you speak, do you think somebody want to be like you? What my French counterpart and mentors, they told me, I like Anglophone culture, the way their ministers are humble. You are defying that. Do you think because you're a minister, you're above any other person? The constitution of the Cameroons make it clear that all citizens are equal. Minister Atanga Nji, the Prime Minister of United Kingdom, cannot talk to me the way you talk to the citizens of the Cameroons. If the Prime Minister of UK dare talk to me the way you're talking to the citizens of the Cameroons, I will take him to court or he will resign. You talk about fraternity in the Constitution. Fraternity means people who have something in common. Do we have something in common in the Cameroons? No. People who are in government, they come abroad for medical treatment because they cannot build hospital in their country. The Constitution of the Cameroons talk about justice. People want to exercise their rights in the Cameroons. You're telling them not to do it. The Constitution says people are entitled to their opinion. People are entitled to associate with whoever they want. But you don't want them to exercise their constitutional right, Minister Atanga Nji. So what do you want the people to do? Fraternity, justice, that's what your constitution says. But you don't want people to do it. Minister Atanga Nji, I don't know if you were given a job description that you sign, because in Western democracy, if you want to do a job in Western democracy, they give you something like a constitution or a paper. They give you have to sign that this is your job description. This is what you're going to do. So do you have one up? I don't know if you ever sign. I don't know if in the Cameroons they give you a job. They ask you to sign your job description. What you should be doing is to follow a job description. I understand you are Minister of Territorial Administration. What are the basic or general duties of a Minister of Territorial Administration? You have to make policies. You have to make sure people have access to government policy in the territory. Minister Atanga Nji, what is the government policy to make sure that, as the Constitution says, they are going to distribute the resources of the country equally to each individual? So why is it that we have electricity in some part, we don't have it? Those are your duty, to make sure that government policies reach each territory. What are the policies to make sure that we have reference hospital in all the nooks and crannies in the Cameroons? That's your job. What are you doing about that, Mr. Atanga Nji? Mr. Atanga Nji, Minister of Territorial Administration is somebody who will be looking at public order to prevent national disaster. How many national disasters have you prevented? You go around threatening your own fellow citizens. I will fight and support you if you fight criminality. If people go around kidnapping for ransom, torturing our people, I will support you, because we all want, when I mean peace, when it comes to people should not use our problem as Anglophones to use it to make money. I'm against that. I don't support it. I was the first person who criticized this. Minister Atanga Nji, I understand, I know Your family house is in a stone house in Commercial Avenue. Minister Atanga Nji, can you go and walk safely in the street of Mankombamena? That's your job. You should make sure our people, as Minister of Territorial Administration, are free to walk the street without any fear. But you're not doing that. All you go is threatening people. Your job is to oversee the local and regional council, what they are doing. Mr. Atanga Nji, there is corruption, local authority, regional assembly, selling lands that belong to other people. What are you doing about that? Your job is to promote local development. Minister Atanga Nji, how can we promote local development when all our gold, our diamond, CDC, plantation, all the things that they exported to the West? Why are you not making sure that we have local industry, that we can manufacture our own things? Why? What are you doing? Mr. Atanga Nji, your job is to prevent or to make sure that we have public health policy and sanitation. Minister Atanga Nji, in the Cameroons, when you walk the streets, whether it's Yaoundé, whether it's Douala, you see pile of dead everywhere. What are you doing? But you're there to threaten your own brothers and sisters. Mr. Atanga Nji, I don't agree with you with everything that you say, but I don't hate you. Mr. Biya said, politics is competition. If I want to replace you, my party, to replace CPDM, I must come and talk about the negative things that your government is doing. That's politics. It doesn't mean I hate you. So, Mr. Atanga Nji, learn to respect people. When I come to Cameroon, I go and meet Dr. Professor Ngole. I meet a lot of people. Most of the people who were my mentors are President Paul Biya's friends. Some of them classmates from primary school, Lycée des Clercs, to France. They stayed in one house. If you're close to Mr. Biya, ask Mr. Biya, do you know Maître Mola Alex Divelisque? He will tell you, c'est mon niveau, c'est un bêtis. That's what Mr. Biya will tell you. I don't hate Mr. Biya. I live in the Western world. Political opinion doesn't mean you hate your friends and family. I have friends who are CPDM. We don't argue. I have friends who are family and friends who are UNDP. We don't argue. I have friends and family who are CPDM. Politics is a profession. It's to tell the people that we are different. So Minister Paul Atanga Nji, stop threatening people. When next I come to the Cameroons, I will visit you. I will take a picture with you and laugh with you because I disagree with your political opinion doesn't mean you are my enemy. So Minister Atanga Nji, stop talking to the people the way you talk to them. Lack of respect, shouting at them. If we have democracy in Cameroon, in order for me to replace CPDM political party, I must show their weakness. If I show their strength, it doesn't mean I'm an alternative. I want to replace them. That's how politics is being done. The job of opposition political party is to scrutinize and hold the government to account. Minister Atanga Nji, you people are using taxpayers' money. It's not your money. So some of us, we believe that if we are in power, we can take the taxpayers' money and do better and make the Cameroons to become the next Dubai. It took less than 50 years to have Dubai. It took less than 50 years to have Qatar. What is happening with the Cameroons, Minister Atanga Nji? I hope this message meets you well, and I wish you well. And I hope you will have a divine intervention to understand that politics is not about war. It's not about hatred. It's about difference of opinion. So, ladies and gentlemen, this has been a party political broadcast by myself, Maitre Mola Alex Nive Lisinge, the leader of British Cameroon National Party. Have a great day.
C'est toi qui les avais nommés, papa. Tu as oublié.